Hi everyone. This lesson is called Point Slope Challenge Problems, and I want to take you through 3 example problems that are, well, they're pretty challenging. That's why I call them challenge problems. They are multi-step, and you need to think really carefully through each step and really chunk them up into small chunks rather than get overwhelmed by all the information you're given. So let's try one. Okay, so the problem here is write the equation of the line that is parallel to 3x minus y equals 7 and contains the point 0,4. So it's really important to sort of break this up into pieces and think carefully through it. So the first part that we're going to talk about is our line is parallel to this line. So we're just going to consider this right now, and then we're going to consider the other part that it contains, the point 0,4. So it's parallel to 3x minus y equals 7. We know from our last lesson on parallel and perpendicular lines that if it's parallel to this equation, it has the same slope. I need to put this equation 3x minus y equals 7 into slope-intercept form so I can see exactly what the slope is. I want to be careful and not jump to conclusions about what the slope is until I have it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I get negative y equals negative 3x plus 7. And I divide everything by negative 1. And I get y equals 3x minus 7. Now all I really care about here is the slope. This is not my equation. I'm not done. All I care about here is that for my equation, my slope equals 3. Okay? I am done with this. I am not going to do anything more with this equation. I do not care about the negative 7. It has nothing to do with my problem. If you look again at what's in the yellow box, it says parallel to 3x minus y equals 7. So all we care about in there is the slope. So m equals 3. Now I know that it contains the point 0,4. I don't know what the y-intercept is, but I know it contains the point 0,4, and I know the slope is 3. So I can go ahead now and use my slope and my point in my point slope formula. So I end up with y minus 4. This is my x and my y, x1, y1. So y minus 4 equals, my slope is 3, so I'm going to put 3 in here, x minus 0. And y minus 4 equals 3x minus 0 plus 4 plus 4 on both sides. I get y equals 3x plus 4. And that's my final answer. So again, just looking back at the problem, it's parallel to 3x minus y equals 7, and that's where we got the slope of 3, and it contains the point 0,4, and 0,4 is actually the y-intercept since x is 0, so that tells us that this is correct. 4 is our y-intercept. Okay, let's go to another example problem. All right, this problem says write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to negative 10x plus 2y equals 8 and passes through 4, negative 3. So again, we're going to break this up into 2 pieces and think about it separately. So I'm going to put in a box this first piece of information. Our line is perpendicular to the line negative 10x plus 2y equals 8. It's the only thing we're going to think about right now. It's perpendicular to that line. Well, I need to find the slope of that line so that I can find the slope that is of the line that is perpendicular to that. So let's just put it in slope-intercept form again. Negative 10x plus 2y equals 8. I'm going to add 10x to get it over on the other side. Add 10x. And I get 2y equals 10x plus 8. Divide by 2. Divide everything by 2. And I get y equals 5x plus 4. Okay, so let's go back to, again, what's boxed in yellow. We want to find, we're looking to make an equation of a line that is perpendicular to this line, which we've rewritten as y equals 5x plus 4. Well, the perpendicular slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal of 5. So my slope is going to be negative 1/5. Okay, now I am done with that equation. I do not care about the 4. All I care about is my slope equals negative 1/5. My next piece of information is that it passes through 4, negative 3. So that's a point on the line is 4, negative 3. And I can go ahead and name that my x1 and my y1. And I'm going to use the point-slope equation again to write my equation. So I get y minus negative 3 equals negative 1/5 times x minus 4. Okay, I can turn this into a big plus and then distribute my negative 1/5. It looks like I'm going to be dealing with some fractions. Y plus 3 equals negative 1/5 x plus 4/5. Okay, last thing I need to do is subtract 3 from either side, and I've got a fraction minus a whole number. So let's change this to 4/5 minus 15/5. 3 is the same as 15/5. So I end up with y equals negative 1/5 x. 4/5 minus 15/5 is negative 11/5. And it's fine to just leave that as an improper fraction. So again, this first equation, negative 10x plus 2y equals 8, all I cared about was getting my slope, m equals negative 1/5 from there, because my line is perpendicular to that line. Now, and I know it passes through 4, negative 3, I can use my slope and my point in my point-slope formula to solve and write an equation in slope-intercept form. All right, here's my last problem. The problem wants me to write the equation of a line perpendicular to 2x plus 3y equals 7 that has the same y-intercept as x plus y equals 2. So again, I'm going to break it into two parts. It is perpendicular to, I'm going to box this, 2x plus 3y equals 7. Just going to think about that right now. Let's put that in slope-intercept form. 2x plus 3y equals 7. Subtract 2x, subtract 2x, and I get 3y equals negative, whoops, sorry about that, negative 2x plus 7, and divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, I get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 7/3. I am looking for the line that is perpendicular to that line. So my slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal of this slope right here. My slope, m, for my new line is going to be 3/2, and it's going to be positive. Okay, that's all I needed from that equation was the slope, so I could find the opposite reciprocal slope because my line is perpendicular to that line. Now the second part here, it has the same y-intercept as x plus y equals 2. So let's find out what the y-intercept of x plus y equals 2 is. X plus y equals 2. Subtract x, I get y equals negative x plus 2. The 2 is my y-intercept because my line has the same y-intercept as x plus y equals 2. So now I'm ready to write my line because I know my y-intercept. I know my y-intercept here is 2, and I know my slope is 3 over 2. So my line is y equals 3 over 2x plus 2. So it looks like a complicated problem. It's not so complicated if you can break it up into a couple different parts, where one you're finding the slope, and for the other one you're finding you've got a point or some other information that's going to help you find the y-intercept. We'll be working on these more in class on Monday, but watch this a couple of times if it seemed kind of challenging to you, so that you at least have somewhat of an understanding when you come into class on Monday. Thanks.